Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and now it's time to get down to reviewing my worst films of 2015. This is getting towards the end, reaching 2016. So now it's around the time I review. We'll talk about we'll go down a list of my top. See how many I have. 14, 14 of my worst films of 2015. And I'm gonna be brief on all of these though, because I haven't done movie reviews of these. Maybe one day I will, but just for now, I'm going to be very brief about them. And although, yeah, I haven't done movie reviews of these, but maybe one day I will. But just for now, and all this is based on all in my opinion. Some people like these films. It's fine that they like the films, but this is all based all in my opinion, though. So, getting right down to it, this is my worst films of 2015. So, starting off, before I do that, there's some dishonorable mentions before I want to get into that. I did not put on my list though, but these films were not good, but didn't put on the list, but dishonorable mentions. So the first one is Hot Top Time Machine 2. I like the first one. This film was not good at all, and to be honest, there was no need to make a sequel, and Sean Cusack's not in it though, although he did appear. So they appear like towards the end, like in a deleted scene, or alternate ending, or something like that. But this sequel was unnecessary, and the film flopped and deserved it. Next is Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. I'm not the biggest fan of the first film, but the first film was a hit, so they decided to make a sequel. Kevin James coming back, and I never care for a sequel either. I never care for a sequel either to this film. So Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, another unnecessary sequel, but the film did make money, but got panned by critics. Next is Chappie. Uh, Although the positive thing is I did like the character of Chappie, but although the film kind of reminded me like a little bit like Short Circuit. Well, you know how a robot, it was supposed to be designed like a machine, authorities like made for like Short Circuit for the government, but this is like for police robots. But then it gets to has feelings and stuff though. But the film, this is a film that was the character I did like though, but the characters there was I didn't care about. And not even feel like, well, Hugh Jackman, he was there, Sigourney Weaver, but it's just I just didn't care for a film. Just didn't care for it. It was like lackluster though. But the character of Chappie I did like though. But Neil Blomkamp, he needs to stop making films and because I think the locations he's filming is like in South Africa, I think, because that's where all his films were made, like Elysium and District 9. District 9 is still his best film though, because I really enjoyed District 9. And I don't care about him making a new Alien sequel. So, and the last one is this animated film called Strange Magic. The film felt like a total ripoff of Epic, that anime from 2013. This film, the animation look was even cheap looking than the animation in Epic. I just never had no. I felt nothing for Strange Magic. So this was one of those few anime films that I don't like. So this is one of them. And the film bombed too as well. It had a horrible opening, made very little money. So those are the dishonorable mentionings. Now moving on. For the first, going down the list. Think like so. Let's see how I have. That's what it is. 12 movies. I did this. Now starting with number 12. Was a film earlier in the year I was looking forward to because it stars Dwayne Johnson, and ended up being a little like disappointed. I'm watching it and I was like, yeah, like we've seen all this before. Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing San Andreas. But Dwayne Johnson, I did like in the film though, but he couldn't save the movie. Although the woman who played his wife, Carla Gugino, I did like the moment where she said that to the guy Ian Goffred, the guy who played Mr. Fantastic in the 2005 film, how that he left her daughter, and like she calls on the phone and he says, "You left my daughter? If you're not dead already, I'm gonna fucking kill you." I did like that line, so that was a fun line there. Dwayne Johnson I thought was pretty decent. Same thing with the Carla Gugino. Paul Giamatti, he was there as well, but it was the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that I've seen before. You know, it's like some people compare this like to like 2012. Although I do like 2012, but in 2012 it's a big disaster film, but it's the whole world that got messed up, and here it's only just only California, the cities in California that gets messed up, and the CG. It's like all the buildings falling apart. It's like everything you've seen before, especially like 2012, and it was just to me it was just a bit of a disappointment. So, but yeah, even Dwayne Johnson, it was nice to see him in a disaster film, but it's just a generic disaster film that we've seen before. So yeah, so San Andreas a little disappointed. So that's why I put this more on the top of 12 list, so because it's the least film that did piss me off this year. But yeah, San Andreas. Yeah. Next one stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's a film called Maggie. And Maggie, well, how I first heard about it, it's like Arnold in a zombie film, and people were like, "Oh, Arnold in a zombie film! We finally get to see him like shooting zombies and stuff." It's not like that. If you expect like an action horror film with Arnold killing zombies, it's not that. It's a drama, and then from the trailer, it did look like a drama, and I was right. The girl who played his daughter, Abigail Breslin, who was in Zombieland and No Reservations, plays his daughter. She's been infected. It's basically what it is about. She's infected, and it really always the whole film is just Arnold taking care of his daughter, and before she dies at the end, because he doesn't shoot her, because it ends with him loading a shotgun, but then she jumps off the roof and commits suicide, and that's it. And the problem is that this film is like all this gray. I mean, even if you look at the cover and the back cover of this, it's all like that's what the film is. It's all like it's in gray and stuff. Why it's all in gray? Why it's supposed to be resemble like a drama or something like that? I don't know. This Arnold, he was there, but it's just that because all of Arnold's films recently have been not that good, though, except the last stand. That was the only decent film that he came back from. But Maggie was just boring, I would say. Boring. It's Maggie, yeah. And then the next one. Now this is the film I was looking forward to all the year, and there are positives I did like, though, but at the same time it was, well, but I was show it anyway. Jurassic World, yeah. This is the film I was looking for. This is the film I was looking forward to. This is the film this year I was looking forward to, because like I said, Jurassic Park, my all-time favorite film. I enjoy the sequels. And after years later, the problem is why I'm like a bit disappointed, because it's taken over a decade to make. Like 14 years since Jurassic Park 3. Maybe that's the reason why, because it took so long to make. Yeah, but the positives I liked about it, I did like Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt I did like, though. But the problem, at the same time, though, he didn't have that much to do. Yeah, like here he's on the poster of this film, but the main of the film focuses more on the two kids in the film. Bryce Dallas Howard's in the film, her um, nephews. The two kids I did not. The two kids I did not care for, especially the older brother was a complete douchebag to the younger brother. Bryce Dallas Howard, she's pretty to look at, but she doesn't have the talent that her father has, director Ron Howard. Although I would say the best performance I've seen, because I did not care for her in Spider-Man 3, I did not care for her in M. Night Shyamalan's The Village or Lady in the Water. So maybe I could say this is the best performance I would say she did in the film, but that ain't saying much though. So she's in the film. She's pretty to look at, but I wouldn't say she's not the worst actress. So there's other actors I think are much worse than her. So she's not horrible, but I would say she doesn't have the talent that her father has. But Chris Pratt I liked. I did like this. I did like the score in the film. There was another character I liked in the film, named of Larry. But Vincent D'Onofrio playing a bad guy, which I already knew he would play a bad guy because a lot of times in films he does play a bad guy. So I knew he was just like a generic villain. BD Wong, the only character from the original film, came back. It was nice. It was nice to see him. The problem is that the CG, especially for the Indominus Rex. Well, cool looking design of the Indominus Rex though, but the CG I did not care. Well, especially on the Raptors and all the other ones. Although there was one piece of practical that you saw in the film, that was the dying Apatosaurus, but that was it, sadly. So yeah, Jurassic World. But but part of me did before making this list, should I put this on the list? Should I put this on the list or not? Or should I put it in a dishonorable mention though? But I'm not over the top mad at the film, but I was just like, maybe it's the reason why, because it took so long to make. That's why I was a bit disappointed in it though. But although I still was impressed and did not expect that it made over 208 million on opening weekends, I still didn't expect that to film make that big of huge impact. But the positives, like I said, I like Chris Hemsworth, but at the same time he didn't have that much to do. But I still liked Chris Hemsworth. Why am I keep saying Chris Hemsworth? because he's more name. I don't know why I keep saying Chris Pratt. I liked Chris Pratt. I did like him, but at the same time he didn't have that much to do. It was focusing more on the two kids, which I didn't care for though. But the CG was not that good. But yeah, Jurassic World, in disappointment though. But I'm not mad as hell. But the problem is it took maybe the reason why, because it took too long to make, so that's why. But Jurassic World, there are other films down this list that I got pissed off more than that film, believe me. Especially this next one. The next one is Creed. This is another unnecessary film that did not need to be made. Creed. Sylvester Stallone, I thought he was okay in the film, but Michael B. Jordan, I don't mind this guy as an actor, but in this film, there was no need to explain about what happened with the Creed's son and stuff. Compared to this performance, I'd rather watch Michael B. Jordan. And I know people will say this a lot, and people are not gonna give me shit about it. But I'd rather see Michael B. Jordan in Fantastic Four and he play Johnny Storm. I already know people are gonna get mad at me for that, but like I said, it's all in my opinion. But there was no need to explain what happened, and there was the stuff they said about Apollo Creed, which I did not like because his Michael B. Jordan, I forgot the guy's name in the film. Like his mother, he's the biological father, but not really his mother. So the one that cared for him in the film is not technically really his mother. So they said that thing Creed cheated on his wife, I think. And that's what I did not care for. I don't think it was like an insulting thing to Apollo Creed. I did not need to know about that, or the fact that I mean, although I do give it that the boxing matches at the end was well filmed, but the film especially the film. This film get all the praise, and Stallone's getting like like actor nominations and stuff, and this film was way overrated. I would say because this thing is like a 90 some on Rotten Tomatoes. I would say this film is just way overrated. This film I don't know nothing to say about Creed. It was totally unnecessary. I never cared for another spin-off slash Rocky film. It's like essentially it's like a mixture of the first Rocky, Rocky 5, and Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa, the sixth one, it ended it. There's no need for it anymore. But they just want to keep on milking the franchise. But I am stuttering because I'm so mad at this film. This film this film pissed me off a lot. But it's way overrated. There's no need for it. Nothing else. Next, now this one is another. This one. So number is this 8 is Pixels. Now this was such a waste of a great idea. You know, directed by Chris Columbus, directed a lot of films in the past. I like the special effects of the film. I like the action scenes. I like the idea, you know, all these video game characters come to life, like Pac-Man, Centipede, Donkey Kong. But the problem is, Adam Sandler, he just cannot do fun comedy films like he used to anymore. I just look at Adam Sandler, this film's like, oh my god, Adam Sandler. And the other supporting cast I did not care about either. You know, Kevin James, Peter Dinklage, I forget the actress's name. Or Josh Gad, who voiced... Everyone knows Josh Gad. He voiced Olaf in Frozen. I know that. But in the film, I couldn't stand him. Because he has this obsession with this video game female character. And the fact that Kubert was in it. And by the end of the film, like you see him piss himself. And then he transforms into this girl and he's kissing her. And that was like, the creepiest thing in the scene. And even Adam's like, that used to be Kubert. And they're like, yeah, I agree. And then the fact that at the end, the stupid scene where they have Kubert babies. And also like, it was such a waste of a cool idea. All these other characters come to life, and I like the special effects, and I like the action scenes, but that's it. And in fact, those thing in the beginning of the film that the Peter Dinklage cheated on Donkey Kong. I'm like, how can you get cheat codes for that? I never knew you played the old Donkey Kong game. There's like cheat codes for it. That doesn't make no sense whatsoever. Pixels. Waste of a good idea. Very wasteful. Adam Sandler cannot do live action comedy films that good anymore. Just stop and except go back to do voice work like in Hotel Transylvania. That's the only thing you can do good at is voice work. Your other the live action comedy films that you do, you can't act anymore. The next 7 is the remake of Poltergeist. Another typical generic, unnecessary, useless remake. Although I would say I did like Sam Rockwell in the film. I never minded him in that film. Sam Rockwell, I thought he was pretty decent, but there was like everything you see before. It's just except there was like a scene with a crazy squirrel and stuff, and I don't know, we've seen this before, and that's the original Poltergeist with Craig T. Nelson. I'd rather watch that, and I like the original Poltergeist. Craig T. Nelson, I really enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed better in the original Poltergeist. This Poltergeist is, I don't know what I can say. It's another unwanted remake that nobody wanted. So yeah. That's basically my blunt reason for the remake of Poltergeist. Unnecessary, useless, pointless remake. Never scary, none of it. Oh, that toy clown, that's supposed to be scary. No, it ain't. The original toy clown is much more scary than that. Next, Another one. This is another one that I got pissed off at. Taken 3. I just I love the first Taken. I love the first Taken. Liam Neeson, badass. The second film, Taken 2, sucked. It sucked big time. Liam Neeson in that film, he was alright, but everything else about the film sucked. The characters that Famke Johnson and Maggie Grace did not care for them, and well, you know you care a little bit in the first film, but in this film you don't. In the second film I don't. And the stupid ideas with the daughter throwing grenades off a balcony so that Liam Neeson can hear it. But I'm not talking about Taken 2. But then this film, and this director Olivier Megaton, which a lot of people will say that they make fun of his last name because his last name sounds like Megatron from Transformers. I still think it's a funny name. This guy, I don't know how this guy still gets work. He should just retire from directing, just like M. Night Shyamalan does. He basically tainted the Taken franchise. Should never have had any sequels to begin with. The first Taken was great. There was no need to have any more. But I know that he had to keep on milking it, and the second film was a big hit, and then the third one made money as well. Liam Neeson, he's never been the problem. I always enjoy Liam Neeson as an actor, but this film was just another unnecessary, pointless sequel. And it wasn't the film that he killed his wife, the ex-wife got killed, and okay, and the Maggie Grace, I still didn't care for her. I would say the action scenes are pretty bland, I would say. Taken 3, this guy he should just stop making movies. Stop ruining a film. Stop ruining a franchise. There was only one good film. That was the first Taken. You don't need to make any of the sequels, but they made money, so it doesn't matter. Although this last film is the final of it, and that film got panned by critics, despite making money. Taken 3, that film pisses me off a lot. It's just mainly the reason because I can't believe this director still keep on getting jobs. Taken 3. Number 5 is Mordecai, and another one. Johnny Depp. He just does another, just like Adam Sandler. He cannot make good films anymore. He can't. He's been playing these idiotic characters. You know. I wish he was start making good films like he did, like in Sleepy Hollow, or Ed Wood, and even A Nick of Time, where he's actually playing an actual, a human. Well, a father caring about his daughter, trying to rescue his daughter in Nick of Time. Johnny Depp is just I lost faith in his roles now. Ever since all those years ago, he just can't seem to. An actor just like that, cannot seem to act anymore. Mordecai is just, oh, this is America. This is like a way of saying hello in America. And it's sad that David Coe directed this film, which I enjoyed. Premium Rush. He directed Premium Rush, and that film flopped, which is too bad because I enjoy Premium Rush. Secret Window, I'm mixed about it. That's nothing with Johnny Depp though, but I enjoy Premium Rush. That's his best film, I would say, that he directed. He's been a screenwriter on a lot of films, but he directed this film. It's another unfunny comedy film with Johnny Depp, and that film was panned by critics as well. And that film flopped. I already said in my box office bomb review. This film deserved to flop. I'm glad. I hope that, well, it probably won't. I don't know. This film seemed like it would get Razzies or not, especially Johnny Depp for worst actor. But we'll see about that though. But Mordecai, I hate this film. It was unfunny. Nothing about it was funny. Johnny Depp can't seem to act anymore. This film pisses me off. Pisses me off a lot. Next, moving on. This Now this film was also a bit of a another bit of a letdown as well. But I enjoyed most of this franchise. But this film was a letdown as well, and people will probably be disappointed though. But Tremors 5, Bloodlines. I was this is another disappointment in a franchise, and I was looking. This is a sequel I was looking forward to. Tremors 5. Although Michael Gross and Jamie Kennedy, they were not the problem. It was the script and the stuff that was at fault. You know, this I liked how it was set in in South Africa and stuff, different location, but this is like the first film that has like no practical effects. Although when they shoot at it, there was like some practical squib and stuff, but the CG creatures is horrible at best. Horrible. Michael Gross and Jamie Kennedy, they were alright, but there was a script that made it so crappy. Other characters I did not care for, especially the mainly thing is the CG is horrible. And this director, which I've never seen his other films, but I had no interest in those films. But this film, yeah. Although in the film, I did not mind the idea that Jamie Kennedy was Burt Gummer's son. I didn't mind that idea though, but it was just a letdown. Especially as a fan of the franchise. First one, masterpiece. Second film, great sequel. Number 3, bit of a step down, but I thought it was still a decent film. Tremors 4, yeah, I did not like the idea. It was dumb to put in the Wild West, but I still like it for what just it was a dumb idea to put it in the Wild West though. But at least that film still had practical effects, unlike this film. I would say Tremors 4 is much better than this film. At the time, Tremors 4 was my least favorite sequel, but now this film proved it. Tremors 4, The Legend Begins, I would say is definitely better than Tremors 5 Bloodlines. The special effects in that film is better than this in this film. And which is funny, there was clips, of the like on the first film and I think on the second and third film. Which is funny, they show those that were practical, but in the rest of the film it's shitty CGI. I don't know why, but. And also, the dumb joke, especially the dumb joke that Burt Gummer, he was captured, he was thrown into a cage, he's going insane, he's, putting piss all over himself. And even there's a scene where a lion pisses on himself. Yeah, well, you want to see Burt Gummer get pissed on by a lion, or even drinking his own piss and stuff like that. Even to say it's for survival, but still, dumb joke anyway. So yeah, Tremors 5. Letdown. Big letdown. Now number 3. Now this one I'm sure this was a lot of people's gonna get pissed off at me for this one, but because it's still out right now and everybody likes the film. I'll just say it anyway. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I know a lot of people are gonna be pissed at me for this, but like I said, it's all in my opinion. Everyone has their own opinions, but this is my opinion. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Although I do say that I did like the special effects. It was good looking special effects. Solid special effects. I do give it that. Because, from looking at the film, it was still great special effects. I still stand by that. I do. For a $200 million budget film, it should look good anyway. And I did like the character of Finn, played by John Boyega. That's another thing. I did like that character. Although, when you see him in the trailer, it looked like he had stuff to do, but in the film he didn't have that much to do. Although he got to shoot, him. Yeah, he got to shoot his in the Millennium Falcon, he could shoot a couple of TIE fighters, or in the escaping. Or he got the lightsaber and used it to battle a couple of stormtroopers. That was cool to see. And although I did mind he tried he fight the villain with the lightsaber. but he got messed up real bad. He got like slashed in the back. Oh yeah, but as far as this is, oh why should I say spoilers? People by now have already seen it. But if you have not seen the film, please don't watch this part then. Spoilers. Yeah, so the only character I never minded that I did like was Finn. He's a stormtrooper who does not like what's going on, so he runs away and just. Although the lead female character I did not care for. Other characters I did not care for. Well, it was cool to see Harrison Ford as Han Solo again, but I'm sure everybody knows this. But I hated when he died. I'm sorry to say. It was stupid. He got killed in a very stupid, shitty way. And the fact that the villain was lame as hell. I hated the villain, Kylo Ren. He was acting like a whiny baby. Like when they're saying when the prisoners they escape. He takes this dumb lightsaber, he goes, oh, they escaped, so I'm gonna throw a hissy fit. I'm gonna wreck this wherever this thing is. And the fact that the look of his lightsaber was still stupid. Even when I first heard about this new lightsaber, I thought it was pretty dumb looking. He was just a whiny baby villain, and the fact that when he took off his mask, people have said that he kind of looks like a young Anakin, but I don't know. He was just stupid. Darth Maul was a much better villain. I like the character of Darth Maul. I still wish they wouldn't have killed him. Even his double lightsaber, I thought was a better looking lightsaber than his dumb looking lightsaber. So, yeah, he was a very lame villain, and I'm sure a lot of people have said some people said when they look at it that it looks like a remake of A New Hope, because when I watched this film, it did look like they stole a lot of scenes from the original Star Wars film, but this film, I'm not trying to throw a hissy fit like Kylo Ren did, but I am still mad. This film, and J.J. Abrams, yeah, I'm not a fan of his Star Trek reboots films. Super 8, I still haven't seen. Well, I saw it once, but I have to rewatch that again. Mission Impossible 3, I did like. I think that's his best film that he directed. But this film, plus I was never interested in a new Star Wars sequel to begin with. I'm sure because everybody was looking forward to it because it broke a whole bunch of records, the highest opening weekend, and they seemed like there's predictions that it may even make more money than Avatar. So yeah, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I know people get mad at me though, but it's all in my opinion. Next one, number 2. It was a toss-up between this one, number 2, and number 1, but they decided to put number 2 is Terminator Genisys. Terminator Genisys is just like there's no need to make any more Terminator films. There is no need, and especially all the stuff with the Arnold Schwarzenegger doing this with that wherever that music was playing, and him doing more of this. And redoing the scenes from the first film, which, why are we doing that? Why just add scenes from the first film and no need to redo the whole thing? And Terminator 2 basically does not exist anymore, and they stole a scene from Terminator 2 when they're shooting from the back of a van at the T-1000, well, except from not a helicopter, it's a regular police car. The characters in it, Arnold, he was just, especially when the younger Terminator, from the first film, that gets killed basically in one shot. I was like, great, that big badass Terminator from that first one, killing everybody, that gets taken out by one shot by this young Sarah Connor, who I did not care for at all. She was horrible. I think she was the girl from Game of Thrones. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't care to see Game of Thrones. This girl, I thought she was horrible. Jai Courtney as a young Kyle Reese. He could not act in this film either. He was like a wooden character. That's what he was. especially Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's just, and especially this film is a much more shitty CGI than Jurassic World. Let me tell you that. The CGI in this was just horrible. The action scenes were horrible as well. I didn't remember one action scene. Oh well, maybe the fight in the bridge. Maybe that's it. But the action scene was just forgettable as well as the film. But the film made 440 million, even though it made like so very little in the U.S. But still, they still plan having more sequels. I don't want to see no more sequels. No more. Terminator Genesis sucks, big time. This film pissed me off a lot more than all the other films down this list. The CGI was just horrible. I would say it's even horrible than Jurassic World. This film, I have nothing else to say anymore. Moving on to the last one. Number one, this is the film that made me mad the most of out of the whole year, and that is The Visit. The Visit, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. He should not direct proves that he cannot direct anything anymore or write anything anymore. He should just retire from directing. He cannot write anything in good movies. His best film was Unbreakable. Signs and The Sixth Sense I can deal with. But after he directed Signs, the rest of the films from then on have been gone to shit. Hate the Village, Lay in the Water, After Earth, The Happening, The Last Airbender. He cannot direct anymore. This film with these two kids that are absolutely annoying as hell, and this is like the worst mother ever. Oh, the parents I've seen in 15 years, but I don't have pictures of them, so I'm going to show you so you can recognize them. I'm just going to send you off without knowing what they look like. Although the positive thing, I think the grandparents, the people who played the fake grandparents, they did a pretty good job. I would give credit to that, but that's it. Especially the woman who played the grandmother, but the both who played the grandparents, they both did a good job. I would say that, but that's it. And all this stuff with the stupid scenes with the young kid rapping. That's the kid who played from Alexander the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I hated him in this film with his stupid rapping. And the film ends with a rap with him saying, "Shit does not taste like chicken. Shania Twain bitches." Even when we said that shit tastes like chicken, because there's a scene where the grandfather takes his dirty diaper and shoves it in the kid's face. Yeah, that's the look of horror films nowadays. Having dirty diapers and shoving in kids' faces. I hate this movie to death. This is by far M. Night Shyamalan's worst film. This film pisses me off more than anything of the shitty films of this year. This film I will never own on DVD. I would never own it. Never. I hate this film to death. He just retire from directing. But the grandparents, they did a pretty good job. I will still give credit to that. But anyway, I've gone long enough. All these movies, I hate all these movies. Well, except for the top six one, my top six one that I hate. Those are the ones that piss me off the most. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed my. I don't want to make this like an over an hour long video like I did last year. So yeah, just a quick recap. San Andreas, Maggie, Jurassic World, Creed, Pixels, Poltergeist, Taken 3, Mordecai, Tremors 5, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Terminator Genesis, and The Visit. That's my lists. But like I said, it's all my opinion. You don't have to. You can agree or disagree with me. But I hate The Visit. That's the film that pissed me off the most this year. It still plagues my mind. But anyway. Hope you enjoyed my list of the worst films of 2015, and hopefully for the next video, hopefully I'll be much more happier because I do the best films of 2015. So anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned on my best films list of the top 10 or my top whatever of 2015. So anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for that. Later.